happens when two creatives stop waiting for the perfect opportunity and decide to build a space they've always wished existed. Welcome to the Creative Life Podcast, the place where creatives go for inspiration. I'm Dr. Jessica Olson, your host, joined by co-host Dr. Jacqueline Gibbons. Today, we're joined by Rachel Ware and Tyrel Frazier, co-founders of Warehouse Comedy Theater, one of Omaha's newest creative venues and a bold new addition to the city's performing arts community. Both Rachel and Tyrel have spent years cultivating their own creative paths through performance, storytelling, improv, teaching, and community building. In 2026, they transformed that experience and passion into something much larger, a dedicated space where performers can hone in their craft, audiences can connect through laughter, and aspiring comedians can find a creative home. In today's conversation, we'll explore their individual creative journeys, how they built a shared vision for Warehouse Comedy Theater, the realities of opening a new arts venue, and what it means to create opportunities for others while pursuing your own creative dreams. Whether you're an artist, an entrepreneur, educated performer, or someone working to bring a big idea to life, this episode is packed with insight, inspiration, and practical lessons about creativity. All right, Rachel and Tyrel, welcome to the Creative Life Podcast.
Whoa, what an intro.
I know.
I was watching you in awe going, we need to get her on stage. She's wonderful.
The teleprompter.
Did you know you were that amazing?
Yes.
You know, I had an idea, but hearing it back, I'm like, you know what? Yeah. We are kind of cool.
It's true. You're who you think you are.
We try.
We're that girl.
Yes, we're going to do all of that in 25 minutes.
All right.
Piece of cake. Yeah.
Let's cram it in.
Piece of cake.
I talk quick. So.
Okay, so before this huge chapter of Warehouse Comedy Theater, each of you had your own creative path, right? So I'd love to start way back at the beginning. What first drew each of you to creativity and performance?
I was a total theater kid. So my start was on stage, and then I was also part of a few different nationally syndicated cartoon shows. I was the voice of Angel Cake and Strawberry Shortcake when they did the remake. And
I had the same reaction when I first found out too.
Fangirl.
I know. What's horrifying is the people who grew up watching me now, like, sometimes have children. And I think that's wild. So I started with that, a bunch of different cartoons, went to school for theater, found comedy while doing performance, and realized that improvising was my true path and passion. And it kind of bloomed from there. I helped co-own another improv theater in town. So I learned a lot from that. And ever since doing that, had my own dream of making my own.
Terrific. Thank you. Tyrel?
I started actually as a musician before I found comedy, and I played band in school for a long time, and then was in a few different bands throughout my late teens and early 20s. We did some touring, and like nothing too big, but just big enough. And then funny enough is I had actually found comedy in a very low point in my life, a very dark point in my life. It actually had always been on my bucket list, and life was just hilariously bad enough that I felt like I could really write some material out of this. You know what I mean? But seriously, and so I started going to the open mics, and really it was kind of a Phoenix story, because that just in itself turned my life around. I met this whole new community of people. I found this talent that I didn't know I had, but was just going exceptionally well. And then I met Rachel shortly after that, and I mean,
unfortunately, at an open mic.
At an open mic, just found a partner to chase the dream together with. Yeah.
Wow.
That's
so you discovered him when his life was hilariously bad.
I love the way you said I discovered him. Yes. as his agent,
Yes.
his manager, his keeper.
You discovered your partner.
Yeah, of
Yes.
course.
I was actually really upset at how funny he was. I didn't appreciate someone being in the same room as me who could be as funny as I was.
He was on your turf.
He was on my turf.
Oh.
Yeah. Something, keep your enemies close.
Yeah, so
Yes.
yeah.
I sense a cage match.
And then sometimes you keep them so close that you fall in love.
Yeah, exactly. We've all seen that movie in the 90s.
Yes, we
Oh,
have, actually.
good. Okay, now you've already kind of touched on. So, comedy involves being very vulnerable, and you chose to enter it at a hilariously terrible
Yes.
time in your life.
Yes.
So that's a lot of vulnerability and courage and confidence. It all has to come in there with comedy. So, what initially attracted each of you specifically to comedy?
Oh, I will say I have forever been a stand-up lover personally, and I mean comedy in general, but something about stand-up comedy. I remember when I was about 11 years old, I saw Dave Chappelle's Killing Them Softly on HBO. When my friend's dad was watching it, we like snuck down and watched it around the corner. And from that moment on, I was hooked. It was something that I always wanted to try, but I was kind of stuck in my lane for music. So I think that's what I needed to give me that push. And I had lots to draw from that I realized at that time, and then later realized how much I had to pull from in my life as well. So, I think I was always kind of meant to find that. It was just a while in taking me to realize it. Yeah.
Sure.
That makes sense.
My passion for improv is just, I think it's a art form that is a gateway to so many other things you can do in life. It could be directly correlated to being able to think quickly on your toes for stand-up. I also think it's just a great confidence booster for public speaking. I think that it helps artists tap into patterns, into different, ways of thought and creation. And so to me, I find improv to be fun, but also necessary in a way. It has changed my life for the better, and part of my passion comes from being able to teach it. And I know a lot of people can and do try to. This is all over the world, and I'm thankful that I at least have enough people who trust me to guide them in also maybe discovering this love of the form as well. I do stand up as well. I just don't feel as passionately about stand up as I
Improv is where I'm at. Okay, I like that. So, creatives, you both have your own creative journeys. You're also on the stage. You're also bringing people through. So, a lot of our creatives at home, they're in various parts of their journey. Maybe they're starting out or they're reimagining what it could be. So, can you share some of the biggest challenges that you faced early on as performers and artists to help them get through those hurdles in their life?
Yes, and this is such a shared moment for all I will call comedians or performers starting out, which is, okay, I've discovered I like it. I have discovered that I'm good at it enough that either people have told me, you're so funny, or you're so good at that, or you should do this. And it's always this third step of like, so now what? Where do I go? How do I begin? And I think a lot of people view this as a smaller step than it actually is. There's sometimes an assumption of, well, I've done it before, so I am a comedian now. You know what I mean? So it is almost a practice of humbling yourself and being patient and then given those opportunities. So one thing that we love that the Warehouse does is offer plenty of opportunities for those who have worked hard and been patient enough. There are plenty of spots in town to get on stage immediately. We have jams and open mics that happen all the time that are free and open to the public. But then when it comes to being a paid performer, being someone who is sought after on shows, we're very particular and careful about, you know, who we're inviting in, not in an elitist way, but in a way that is hopefully pressuring some comedians to really stretch themselves, to work a little bit harder to get a bigger payoff. We've become a city now that has 3 or 4 comedy venues in it, which is holding in line with, you know, Chicago or Denver or Minneapolis, maybe even more at this point. And so I think what that also means is it holds Omaha and all us creatives accountable for making everything the best it can be.
Absolutely. You know what I like about this, Rachel, is the fact that you're adding friction. I think sometimes we're living in a society, it's like this cultural moment where we don't want friction. We just want to be able to do the thing. We just want to go the thing. We just want to be successful. But I like that you're creating intentional points of friction to say, well, hold on, we have a standard. Right. And not only that, but we're going to hold you to one too, because we think it's good. It's for your betterment. So I love the fact that you're adding friction. Of course, you have the open mics and things that you can mix it up. But if you want to get on the stage, you want to be a paid comedian, there's some rigor more, there's going to be some processing here. And I think friction is so good for us.
Yeah.
It builds us.
Friction is a very smart word that I was totally thinking of.
I know what you're thinking. I got you.
Thank you for making that jumble sound just perfect.
I like it.
And well, it's in the discomfort where the growth happens.
Yes.
And you know, you push those students just enough where they're like, ew, I kind of don't like it. But then they're able to see their success because they were able to hang in there. They were able to have that grit, walk through the fiction or friction.
Either way.
It's whatever you want it.
Yes.
It's a novel. How has improv influenced the way you approach life off of the stage?
Oh, personally,
I was going to say you would be good at answering this.
I had little to no experience with improv before I met Rachel. I had, I think, done some short form improv in speech class in high school, but nothing at all after that. But I started taking it in the same sense that a football player does ballet classes. Like, I figured it would make me better on stage. And I would say not only was that the case, but it has definitely made me wittier in my everyday life, if that makes sense. You just get used to connecting dots and looking for the funny in every single moment that it starts to pop out in your everyday life, personally.
There's something that is taught in improv called "If this is true, what else is true," which is a philosophy that I have just put towards everything in my life, and it has helped, round out decision making. It has helped me understand and address the ways I'm feeling in a certain situation. It leads to more questions like, "Well, this has happened, which means this, therefore I must be this," and it's just a really nice, I've had some of my students say before, like, they teach this in like therapy. And I'm like, what do you think this is?
Humor is the best form of therapy.
Right?
Yes.
Right.
Laughing. Okay. I like that. And I think that's a really good takeaway. Mm-hmm. And so both of you said, well, you're trying something new. You know, you thought it would strengthen you. But it also had other residual effects like, oh, okay, it's actually made me think about, I look at life in those moments and I can create these other types of dialogues or hidden little pieces of life. And I think that's really cool. And then Rachel, you complimented it with saying like, this is something we're actually teaching our students. And now it's giving them aha moments of how improv can actually be connected to other parts, other life in their thinking. All right, let's do this. All right, so let's talk about building a creative partnership, because the thing is that you both built this together. You came together, you had that shared dream. So tell us about how this creative partnership began, and if Perhaps there's someone at home and they're wanting to start with their partner. Give us some insights into what this really looks like.
Yes. First and foremost, be so aware that you and your partner are now starting a journey that comes with more success, happiness, quarrels, disagreements, right? The one thing is like, I remember Tyrel and I mean, truly would stay up till wee hours of the morning, like giddiness, talking about our dreams and what it would look like. And I think one of the biggest things is just that we were so sound with each other, that our relationship was strong enough
Yes.
he's like my biggest cheerleader. I am the pessimist in this relationship. It's total golden retriever black cat energy where I am very like type A, thinking like 20 steps ahead, and Tyrel has always been the one that's like, well, you can do it though. Like, of course you can do it. And the yin yang of it has just been beautiful and really nice.
Yeah.
But as two comedians, like, of course we want to build the tree house and we want to invite all of our friends. Like, who wouldn't want this?
Yeah. I mean, be prepared to swallow a lot of pride, and pick a lot of battles. But I think the important thing is, like Rachel said, that if you're going to go into something like this to build a creative partnership, that you fill each other's faults, right? Where one of you falls short, that the other one fills in that spot, because just like Rachel needs somebody to say, but we can just do it. You know what I mean? I also need somebody to say, that might not work and cost us a bunch of money. You know what I mean? So
we all want the neon fountain, Tyrel.
Right.
It's not.
So I think, that's just be ready to compromise a lot and swallow a lot of pride. But in the end, if you do that, I think you end up creating something more beautiful than the original vision even.
And to answer your final question of what would we say to people who would be doing this is do it. Yeah.
Some of the best advice I ever got in my life was from my 8th grade band teacher, who told me that anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. And that has stuck with me ever since. And he was using it in the term of practicing my drums, to be honest. Because, it's better to practice for 5 minutes than not at all. Just like if it's better to brush your teeth for 30 seconds than not at all, right? It's just anything worth doing is worth doing poorly, but I've applied that.
Except to our kids watching. It's for the full time.
Right. Full 2 minutes.
For the full 2
minutes.
But I think that heavily applies to creating as well, that to accept that you're not, especially if you're doing something together or individually, it might not be perfect at first, but perfection is the enemy of good. So just keep working at it, keep working together, keep working individually, and watch it kind of form in front of you.
I like that.
So you spoke how you're both very different in some ways. So in
understatement of the year.
I'm a noticer.
Yeah.
So in this partnership, Tyrel, what would you say are Rachel's strengths? And Rachel, what would you say are Tyrel's strengths?
Ooh.
Well,
Think of it
easy
fast, or
question
it's
for
going to be a
him,
fight.
but
No, I would say Rachel's strengths are, for lack of a better term, being the bad guy sometimes, is a big strength of hers, as well as Rachel is the heartbeat behind Warehouse Comedy Theater. So she is the one who is there twice as much as me. She is the one who is teaching the classes, 4 times a week. And, when I'm home with the kids, she's there, so I would say her strength is just being the engine and also, like I said, letting me be the good guy.
I wish we were playing the newlywed game, because I was just about to be like, Tyrel's the nice one.
Yes. We do need placards.
Yes. Truly, I don't think Tyrell is such a people person. He is so friendly. He is liked by, not that I'm not, but I've heard some things. So, he's so well liked by everyone and approachable. And I think especially in a business where I have been told that I'm a little bit intimidating before. Good. I worked very hard at trying to come off that way. But it's nice, like I said, to have that opposite side of they're like, listen, I'm afraid of your wife, so I'm going to ask you this. And he's like, cool, we're fighting, so I have to ask her next week. But I also think that without bias, Tyrel is so funny. And I think Tyrel gives a lot of opportunity to people in town. I hear him say all the time when he books shows, like, this person has a lot of heart. This person really wants it. This person has been working hard. So he's really good at like recognizing when someone is deserving of that limelight. Sometimes that like slip through the cracks for me where I'm like, oh yeah, that is a great idea. And the last thing is that Tyrel is completely willing. Tyrel is always down where I'm like, I need one more person in my acting 101 class. And he's like, I'm terrified, but I will be there. So his willingness is very great. And one thing against him is he's bad at counting because he only said 2 nice things about me.
I was just,
You're like, hey, I had a whole list.
and I would
It
just,
should have been
I'm
longer.
gonna add a
Keep the
third.
Cameras roll.
I'm gonna add a third thing and just say Rachel's focus on building and adding to the comedy community has been a big driving force for us and has helped inspire me to be passionate about the same thing.
Awesome. So actually, my next question is about this. So what role do independent creative venues play in strengthening a city's culture and identity? I know you talked about you're the anchor, the engine, and then also you both shared that the community was behind you in opening this. So why is it important to have independent venues?
Well, I think, most major cities have at least one major comedy club, which we need. Don't get me wrong, where people can go and see national headliners for $40, $50, $60 a ticket. And like I said, don't get me wrong, those are needed. Rachel and I have done lots of host and feature sets at those clubs as well. But I think that every community, small or large, needs the smaller creative venues, whether it be for music, comedy, or art, because people need a place to start and people need a place to build those skills.
I also think, especially when it comes to figuring out who you are as a performer, it's most important to experience all viewpoints and opinions of that art form to figure out what fits you best. We now currently have 3 improv theaters in town. The Warehouse that teaches relationship-based improv game. We have 1 theater that specializes in short-form comedy. We have 1 theater that specializes in fast-paced game. So I think by experiencing and learning from all of these as a performer, you figure out this is what I like, this is the venue I want to go down. And as an audience member, it shows you, oh, I prefer this type of comedy. This is the thing I want to seek after. It's important that you can see a comedy show at 6 p.m., 8 p.m., and 10 p.m. in a town like Omaha where you can drive anywhere in 15 minutes. So I think, again, a lot of people sometimes view as our theater as a competition, which it inherently is, but it's also, more importantly, an addition to the town and just another opportunity for people to enjoy or participate in comedy and acting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're getting close to the end of it, and I love the fact that you're ending this like this, we're an addition. Yes, of course, inherently there's competition. You can only go to have so many shows a night. But tell us about what excites you most for the future Warehouse Comedy Theater, and then also tell our viewers how they can support you, where they can support you as we get ready to close out the episode.
I'll let you finish it off, baby.
this guy because I told him he needed to.
I like it. I like it.
The last one.
She didn't. She didn't. That was of my own belief.
So as far as the way to support us, go to our website, warehousecomedytheater.com. We have shows, 6 shows a week.
Wednesday through Sunday, basically.
Every Sunday is a free open mic. If you've never tried stand-up comedy before, great place to try it out. If you are a veteran of stand-up comedy, come try out some new jokes or just freshen up your chops while you're there. On Wednesdays, it is a free improv jam. A weekly one, which is we're the only place in town that offers a weekly jam. This has at least 20 to 30 improvisers there every week. Everyone averages about 16 to 20 minutes on stage. You're paired up with random people, some improvisers who have been doing it 15 years on a team with someone who's stepping on stage for the first time. This goes into, these are the things that are important to me, but are important to the community, is again, offering up just the option and the opportunity to participate in these sort of things. As we grow, I want to offer more of this. It would be ideal for me to have every night be some sort of participation show where people can try, because that's where I feel like we gain our following. People try improv, for free a couple weeks and then go, well, okay, let me take a class and see what this is all about. And then, 15 years later, here I am sitting on a couch talking to you guys about opening a theater because I quit my job at Party City and took an improv class. It all pays off. And I want us to come off as people who are just experiencing the growth with everybody. I want the community to be a part of it. And I think it's important for the community to feel that way, because then when we win, everybody wins, which sounds so cheesy, but that's kind of what performance venues are, whether it be a theater, a studio, anything like that. Coming to shows, if you are the person that's like, I know I'm not going to get on stage. We have shows every single Friday and Saturday, shows that you can only see at the Warehouse Comedy Theater. For instance, this weekend we have Matt Geiler, who's toured with Flight of the Conchords and opened for Wayne Brady, all in a very intimate venue with some of the cheapest tickets in town. So
perfect. Well, thank you so much. I love that. And we're actually at time. And this has been a wonderful moment shared with all of us. So thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Creative Life Podcast, the place where creatives go for inspiration. If today's conversation inspired you to take a creative risk, support local arts, or pursue a vision you've been putting off, make sure to follow the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you're looking for a deeper creative community, keep an eye out for the upcoming Creative Letters Book Club, where we'll explore creativity, leadership, storytelling, and personal growth through meaningful conversations and great books. To stay updated on future episodes, book club announcements, and behind-the-scenes content, follow us on Instagram at the Creative Life Podcast Omaha. And if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who believes in the power of creativity and community. Until next time, keep creating, keep growing, and keep living the creative life.